What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel, period. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some more disappointing and sad news in regards to PSA grading. This is something I found on Facebook in one of the groups that I'm in. And honestly, I hate making negative videos about anything sports card related or hobby related. However, there are things that need light shed on them, and this, I truly believe, is one of them. After reading this, I was like, oh my god, I don't even know what I would do. So I just want to read what this guy had posted and obviously talk to you about it with my feedback. So I'm screen recording right now, so I'm going to be reading off of my phone here. And the guy's name's Kevin, and he's Attention Hobby. It's a sad day in the hobby when the CEO of PSA just points the finger, tells you FedEx sucks, tells you he can't do anything to help. And he has no plans to address this. All I get is, they're working on it. I hope this is received in the true spirit of which it is intended. I'm here to share my experience regarding my first PSA submission and the nightmare that ensued and still dealing with. My intention is to share my story, I try to keep most of my emotions as I write this. So just some introduction, pretty much. Again, first submission, oh man. I think that's what kind of, it sucks period, but I think that just adds a little extra sour taste on top. On February 13, 2023, I submitted and shipped my first PSA submission. It was a 5-card submission. I shipped it with FedEx and insured it with FedEx for $2,500. My package was delivered and signed for by PSA on February 17th, so 4 days later. And this is when the real fun begins. The next day, on February 18th, I was notified by PSA that my package arrived but was empty. I immediately filed a claim with FedEx. On February 27th, so we are 2 weeks after he sent it out, without any communication from the FedEx claim rep that was assigned to my case, I received a very generic claim denial email. I reached right out to FedEx and PSA. I was told FedEx needed to issue a call tag and pick up the original shipping box from PSA. And that's basically where I'm still at today. I've reached out to both parties. Both companies refused to take blame, actually resolve this, or put forth any effort. Last time I called FedEx, I spoke to 7 different reps. Oh, I hate that. You call somebody. Oh, please hold. Gonna connect you to this person. Oh, gonna connect you to this department. Hate that. PSA is essentially telling me I'm shit out of luck and to kick rocks. And I really thought this was kind of aggressive, in all honesty. I was like, no way, no way. And then there's screenshots that I shared, and I'll read those as well. I do believe it was most likely a FedEx employee. On the other hand, still I have no actual proof that it was stolen while in PSA's possession. Nat Turner just points the finger at FedEx, tells me his employees didn't steal it, that FedEx sucks. I'm pretty much exhausted all my options, resources, patience, and sanity at this point. This is why the rich get richer and a regular guy like myself sadly has no chance in a situation like this. That is very true. That is why I'm always preaching and just screaming, support small businesses, shop local, this and that. Like, I mean, I sell almost every retail Pokemon product out there for, using Pokemon as an example. There's no reason why Target needs to sell that. It's not like it's going to hurt their bottom line or anything like that. And you're there mainly for groceries, clothes, accessories, maybe some personal body products, whatever it may be. Obviously, they got toys. I mean, they got a gazillion things. Pokemon cards definitely is not going to make or break their business. However, someone like yourself buying that same product for the same price at Murph's Card Town Sports Shop significantly helps and makes a difference. So I can totally relate to this guy, being a small guy with these big businesses, all that. He says, as you guys can see, I appreciate you actually checking in on this and looking into this. This is Kevin now talking to Nat. I just feel helpless at this point. I understand PSA is trying to do their part. Turner says, yeah, unfortunately this happens all too frequently at FedEx, especially FedEx Ground. They seem to be targeting cards. I've seen this before with FedEx targeting Nike boxes. When you score a pair of, the newest Jordan releases on the Nike app, obviously it comes in a box with a Nike tape around it. So a FedEx employee gonna know a thing or two and be like, maybe the new Jordans are in there, maybe the new kicks are in there. Let me take a peek. Maybe it's my size. I'll probably go sell it. Just, again, people are very scummy, very shady like that. It's very upsetting. Exactly. And I feel like this is something that needs to be addressed and discussed within the industry. Hopefully I'm doing that right now for you. I know I'm just one person, but I have zero confidence at this point submitting another package to PSA. I don't blame him. Turner says, where do you live? St. Louis, Missouri. Turner says, got it. What does that mean? Are you going to send him something? Are you... What was... Yeah, okay. My background is marketing, AM, CE. That's one reason I wanted to bring this to your attention. I'm here thinking based on everyone at this point. If this was my company, how would I manage this for me? Big picture. If this stuff is going on, it is ultimately going to hurt you and collectors, shareholders. From an outsider looking in, certainly not trying to tell you about it. I'd love to fix it. We're trying. FedEx is basically unresponsive. So at this point, your collectors and PSA stance is what regarding my situation? You don't plan on helping me get this resolved. Nothing to help me in rectifying, remedying this situation. Now, I don't know how long these conversations are taking, whether it's over the course of a couple weeks, over the course of a couple days, couple hours, whatever it may be. It seems like it's been a couple of weeks, or at least a week. We are working with FedEx on a number of these issues. Did you have them certified? Kevin said yes. Turner said good. So already, and there's still more screenshots to go over, it just feels like we're just circling in place. Did you do this? Did you do that? Okay, got it. We're trying. Did you do this though? Okay, good to know. We're trying. It's just circling and circling in place. Again, like PSA still has people's submissions from 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, even from 21 and 2020. From, when the hobby was really booming because of COVID. And there's people out there that are still waiting on those submissions. When are they going to get them back? Who knows? That's why I'm such a big proponent of using caution when submitting with PSA or any company, really. You got to do your own research. But how many times have we heard stories about this in regards to other companies out there? Whether that's Beckett, SGC, TGA, HGA. I mean, we could go on and on. CSG, whoever you want to throw into that mix. How many negative stories, complaints have we heard from people using those companies in comparison to PSA? I mean, I do monthly submissions with TGA, and I've never had an issue, ever had an issue with people submitting cards, TGA grading them, the shipping process, never had an issue. Yeah, I'm going to run into some people that are impatient, and TGA guarantees shop submissions 20 to 30 business days. A business day is Monday to Friday, not including weekends, not including major holidays. But again, if you submit them 2 weeks before the first Monday of the month when they go out, it's going to feel like an extra 2 weeks. So I get that. And, that's easily handleable and controllable. But at the end of the day, I've never had an issue. I've never had an issue. Let's see. I can't get the left hand and right hand to talk and work together. It's actually unbelievable that it's gone to this point. And I'm only growing even more frustrated. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Good question. What would you do? What would I do? Let me ask myself that question. What would I do if I was PSA? Or maybe this happened and, someone bought a card, off of me on Instagram, let's say, and I go to ship it to them and it's gone. Obviously, you try to work with the post office. That's a tough one. I mean, obviously you want to fix the situation, especially as a small business. I'm trying to make sure every customer that I have is satisfied, is happy, is pleased with their, experience at Murph's Car Town Sports Shop. PSA is in a position where they don't care. They know they're going to get your grading fee. They know they're going to get that from you. So why bother with a little, oh, how was your experience? Was it good? Is there anything we can do to improve it next time? They don't do any of that. I, being a small business, strive to do that all the time. And I'd like to think that those who have been to the shop and experienced a trip to the shop, bought some things off of the shop, could agree to that and testify that. But how many of these situations are out there? I don't know. But, I mean, you hear way more stories than you'd like to. Turner says, I honestly have no idea. I get it. FedEx sucks. But you're a business. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about this? This is why the rich get richer. This is Kevin. This is why the rich get richer and why people like me are the ones who suffer. Agreed. big organizations like FedEx and PSA are generally too big for a person like myself to succeed. I mean, I'm fighting all the big online retailers. I'm fighting against eBay. Anywhere, any marketplace you can buy and sell sports cards or Pokemon cards or anything like that. I'm going up against them. I'm countlessly going up against Target and Walmart and, Pokemon Center, eBay, like I mentioned, Amazon. I'm always fighting against those guys. Always. So I totally get it. I totally get it. I'm being honest and open with the hope of you understanding the intent and spirit it is intended, but I'm not you. I'm not wealthy like you. The money value of this isn't the same to you and I. It's been 4 months. I feel like this is over time. Like, I'm trying to look at this objectively. Oh, it has to be maybe 2 weeks, I'd say. I'm trying to look at this objectively, and I understand you have a business to run, and I understand what I've been told by you and Caroline, that the cards were stolen before you received the package. Maybe, 4 months. So February, 4 months, March, April, May. February, March, April, May. So yeah, probably just had this conversation with him last week. I do appreciate listening to me and engaging with me. I know you are a very busy person and lead and respect your time, but again, put yourself in my shoes. I guess I expected more, to be honest. I figured PSA would be more willing to help. See, that seems like a message you send hours later or a couple days later. From my perspective, it's just finger pointing and neither party is willing to accept any responsibility, and comes off as I'm just shit out of luck because we know I can't financially take on FedEx or PSA. At a point, where do I just give up? That has caused so much frustration, disappointment, feeling defeated. There's not much we can do if it's FedEx's fault. Sorry. Not sure what you're expecting. Again, you're circling and circling and circling, and then eventually there's nothing. You're as the head of CEO. As the head CEO of PSA, you're just gonna give up on them. Not sure what you're expecting. Something, some kind of reimbursement. Look at the submission that. Can you do PSA submissions online? I don't know. I don't do any PSA submissions. That's tough. You got to do something. I mean, obviously you don't want to take money out of your pocket for a matter that's not your own fault. Like, I guess Kevin's saying, I guess I figured PSA to help out a customer like myself in the short term and identify a solution to figure out how to reduce and limit instances like this from occurring long term. I guess that was foolish of me. We are working on solutions. I've already told you that. Understood. And then there's just a bunch of screenshots from PSA and FedEx and all that. That was very very difficult to read. Now, obviously, I read it before I made this video, but again, even reading it a second time, it just makes me think a little bit more. It's like, God damn. So I'm at a loss of words because I feel so frustrated for him. I feel disappointed for him. Again, this was his first submission, and I don't know what cards he sent out, but he put $2,500 in insurance on it. So they weren't dollar cards. They weren't bargain cards or anything like that. Probably had cards of value. And that's why I always tell people you can't trust PSA. Yes, PSA 10s are great, whip-de-doo, but a 9 is virtually worthless. It takes forever. They're so untransparent, and they'll slap you with a fee because the card's value is higher than what tier that you submitted the card through. It's just all these shady things, and they have a grip on the hobby, and they have brainwashed a lot of people in the hobby, and it's very unfortunate. So me making these videos is hopefully bringing some education and information to the table for you, so maybe you can think twice about who you want to submit cards to. Again, pick whoever you want to submit cards to. Just do your research and understand that you're letting these cards go to FedEx, UPS, post office, whoever, and you're giving them to somebody else for a period of time for them to look over the cards. You don't know what's going to happen to those cards while they're away, and then they got to come back in the mail. So it's going to take some time. You're not going to have your cards for a while. And again, I try to be as generous and careful and informational when talking to people about submitting cards to TGA, because they're going through the same thing. No matter what company you pick, you're giving them to somebody else. They're going in the mail. They're going to be looked at and observed and handled, and you're going to have no idea what's going on. You're going to have no clue what's happening to your cards, and they're going to come back eventually, again, handled by some form of postal service. And then you just kind of have to live with the consequences of whatever the grade is. You spent the money, you waited the time, all that good stuff. Hopefully this video was very educational, very informative, and again, brought some light to the situation. I mean, this isn't the first situation in PSA. Again, they've had people's cards from 6 months ago, a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, all the way back to 2020 when the pandemic blew up the hobby. So that is going to do it for this video. This was a fairly longer video, so I do apologize, but if you made it to the end, drop a comment down below. Let me know that you made it to this point. I would love to give you a shout out and as an appreciation for making it this far in the video. And if you enjoyed this video, I've queued up an excellent video right here for you guys that I do believe is going to be excellent for your hobby endeavors. Hopefully, I'll see you in that one.